What's up, guys? Dustin coming to you. I wanted to take a little bit of time today and talk about some diet stuff. Most particularly fat. Now, a lot of people think fat will make you fat if you eat a lot of it, and that is not necessarily true. It is to a degree, but it's not necessarily true. Actually, fat does not make you fat unless you're not getting the other required nutrients you need, like protein and carbohydrates, and not necessarily both of those. There's a lot that goes into it. Okay, so like your best bet would be a macronutrient counter, something that counts or tracks your macronutrients. So I just wanted to touch on real fast. So think of it like this. I like to tell people, think of it like water. Okay, the more water you drink, the more can't even talk. The more water your body will not hold on to. Okay, so the more water you drink, the more you expel, because your body is getting a constant influx of water. So it's telling itself, I don't need to hold on to this excess water because I'm getting enough of it. Okay, and that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while for your body to adjust to that, and it's all about routine. Same thing with fat, in a way. Fat, your body does not make fat. It does not make carbohydrates. It does not make proteins. That's why we eat. Okay, so let me see if I can break this down a little bit easy, so I'm not talking crazy. All right. So when you eat fat and quite a bit of fat, you're getting, let's say you're getting what your body requires every day of fat in your diet. Okay? So your body is telling itself, I'm getting this required amount of fat that we need for all of our processes. We do not need to store extra. Now what happens when you skip a meal? Then your body goes, oh shit, we're not getting fat. I need fat. We gotta have fat. Because a lot of your internal organs are surrounded by fat as a protective covering. A lot of your internal organs will use certain fats. So your body kind of freaks out. It wants to protect your organs first and foremost. So what's it do? Start packing on the fat. So you got to eat enough fat. At the same time, if you're not eating enough, if you're eating a lot of fat and you're not eating enough protein or carbohydrates, your body is going to say, hey, we're not getting enough here. So what we're going to do is we're going to rob from the muscle first, because it's more dense in nutrients than the fat is. So we're going to go ahead and start eating this muscle. See how your body will eat its own muscle because it's more nutrients dense than fat is. At the same time, it's saying we'll keep packing away the fat just in case, because we're already starving for one thing. We might be starving for fat later. And now, mind you, it's not going to store as much fat as if you're like eating 2 or 3 meals a day. But you know, you got to eat enough to have your body say to itself, we are getting the required nutrients we need. We do not need to store fat. Now I can go on to say, if you put yourself in a higher state where you're getting more than required, now you start hitting on some things like, okay, we're going to get rid of some of this excess that we have laying around because we're getting a lot extra. We need to start moving some of this out. And you also get your body saying, oh man, if you start weight training, your body's going to say, well man, I need bigger muscles. I need to compensate for this. And if you're getting enough food, you're going to grow. Not fat, you're going to grow muscle. So, you know, that's just something to think about. I mean, I'm going to take this kind of off a little bit here. If you go into a survival situation, okay, you find yourself out in the woods with nothing, the hardest thing to find? Fat. Because a lot of animals don't pack on a lot of fat. A lot of things you will find that you can survive on out in the forest do not contain fat. So your body will always have a tendency to store fat because it's one of the hardest things in nature to find. You know, like back in caveman days, they did all kinds of stuff like ate bone marrow and stuff for the extra fat. So that's just something to think about, that fat's hard to come by. And we are, you know, we're humans. You know, we've lived through some pretty crazy stuff in the building of our culture. So, you know, we have that propensity to store fat because it's important to our organs. So that's just something to keep in mind. You need to be getting enough fat in your diet. And when I say that, you need to be getting enough good fat, not junk fat like fast food, nothing fried, even though fried pickles are awesome. You got to stay away from fried stuff. But good healthy fats, you know, nuts, yogurts, stuff like that. So just wanted to touch on fat a little bit. If you guys liked the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any comments, leave them below. You know, follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So stay tuned, there's more to come. Peace. Motherfucker.